Alright, so here's something that could come in a little handy sometimes. It actually saved me big time a few days ago, and I'll explain that later. Say you want to run two copies of the same app. It's like you have the same app, or it's called the same thing with the same icon, but you're running two different versions of it. You don't need to do that in most cases, right? Safari, for instance, you got multiple windows open, you have multiple tabs in the windows, and all that. It feels like you're running multiple browsers, and you're just running one. And there's really no reason to run another version of Safari, especially since it sandboxes everything. So you're unlikely to get a crash where it brings down all of Safari. But sometimes there is an app like, say, Calculator. Let's launch Calculator here. And let's say, oh, it would be nice. There we go. It would be nice if I could actually have multiple copies of Calculator running so I can do calculations and not have to erase one to start another. So how do you do that? Well, you can use Terminal for that. So Terminal has a command called open. And you can do open-a and the name of an app. And it opens up the Calculator app. If I were to do the same command again, it just brings the Calculator app to the front, just like trying to relaunch the app. But I can use -N then -A, and you have to do the -N first. -N says new instance and -A saying application, and then you follow that with the name of the application. And now I do that, and now I get a second instance of Calculator. If I look in the dock, you can see I've got two calculators running, and each one is separate. 9 plus 6, 14, 3 minus 1, 2. Interesting. And I could even like say, well, this one I want it to be scientific, you know, and this one regular and all that. And I could do another one. And you can see it picked up the preferences from the first one. It's one of the things that makes this dangerous. These apps are not designed to work more than one instance running at a time. So they're going to step on each other's toes in terms of preferences and settings and things like that. Some apps may completely crash and all. But it does come in handy sometimes. And I would, before you do it for anything critical, I would just test it out. Maybe shut down all apps and just test out running multiple copies of the same app. Where it saved me was I was using an Adobe app and I had a bunch of graphics in it. And I ran into a bug. You know, Adobe is like coming out new versions every year and then new subversions every month. It crashed in such a way that I couldn't save the file. So I had the file, had everything visible, but I couldn't save it. And if I were to open up another document to like copy and paste from one to the other, I couldn't save that document. But I was able to use this, open up a new instance of the Adobe app, copy from one document into a new document in the second instance, and that allowed me to save. And I was able to save all my work by copying everything, pasting it, saving it, and then I quit all those apps and I just launched a new one fresh and everything was fine. So it saved me there. But most of the time when you're going to use something like this, it's going to be something like this where it's like, oh, I want multiple calculators on the screen. So I want multiple instances of the Calculator app running. So some fun things to play with, a little dangerous, but could be useful.